It's Thursday, by golly, by gum, second day of April 2026. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. It is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is a beautiful morning. We make the transition today. It was a cold, wet, kind of a raw day yesterday to welcome April. We only got to 44 degrees, 13 degrees below normal. We're going to be below normal again today. We're going to see quite a bit of sunshine, a little breezy today, a little windy tonight. It'll calm down on Friday. Easter weekend is looking mighty fine indeed. We'll be kissing 70 by the early part of next week, maybe even on Easter Sunday. Going to be a beautiful weekend once we're there. Weather forecast is coming up. A lot of news to get to. Sports, Mariners had a matinee yesterday against the Yankees. Not the best start for the Mariners, but it's still early. They've only played 7 games, so they have 155 to go. So that's the thing about baseball. You have to roll with the flow in that game. Highlights, if you will. There, part 2 of my interview with Jeremy Andrews, general manager of Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval, as they're firing up for another season, 56th season, I think. I can't remember if they actually count the COVID year or not. It doesn't matter to me. But it's a great interview. You don't want to miss that. And it's Thursday, Pause for Pets. Brave, the dog, needs a home. And for the very few times on this show, Brave, the dog, is a puppy. They usually don't hold on. Puppies usually go pretty quickly for the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Pretty cool animal. Good-looking animal, too. We'll have that for you as well on this Thursday. Let's go ahead and fire those babies up, put the quarters in. These are coin-operated, by the way, PTZ cameras. You have to put a quarter in for it to work. That, of course, is the Wenatchee Heights camera. The mighty Columbia is sitting there doing its thing. There are some clouds out there, but we're going to see quite a bit of sunshine today. But I was surprised this morning when I looked it up on the climate page at the National Weather Service that we only got to 44 yesterday. It felt cool, but it didn't feel that cool. Rock Island line is a mighty fine line, so they tell us. The Rock Island camera, that's way up there, and it's moving because in the upper elevations it is breezy, and it will be breezy today. Still some light mountain snow, though. I need to mention that. Not too much. You should be able, if you're heading over Stevens or Blewett or I-90, you should be fine there. And there's the Rock Island camera, susceptible to wind, and that's a perfect example of that. The Leavenworth camera is still, the last time we saw it, yep, you can see the treetops are not moving much at all. Look at that. That's kind of cool. That's a sweet view. You can tell that the icicle and the Wenatchee are kind of keeping it kind of cool like that. I like that. That's a cool view. I can just look at that all day. Malcolm, just throw that up and we'll go do breakfast. I don't think our viewers would mind. And Billy Goat's way up on top of Billy Goat. Let's take a slow dissolve there. Anytime now, Malcolm. There you go. He didn't have the bolts tightened in his neck yesterday, so he's not 100%. Beautiful view from Billy Goat. A little bit of residual snow up at the top, and that's about it. Hello, Alta Lake. Hello, the Methow. Hello, Columbia. Hello, Pateros. Hello, Bridgeport. Hello, Brewster. Hello, Riverside. Hello, Omak. Hello, Orville. Hello, Okanagan. Hello, Tenasket. I'm done saying hello because I've ran out of all the towns that are tucked against the banks of the mighty Columbia. I haven't been to the north part of north central Washington in a while. That's my bad, but I love going up to the Methow Valley. I just haven't done it yet. Let's get right to it. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. We're still at the very end of the low pressure that visited us yesterday, brought us the rain, brought us the cooler temperatures. The difference is today going to be a little bit warmer, 54, still below normal. We'll have quite a bit of sunshine. Still a couple of areas in our viewing area could get some light rain, and that's really about it. It is raining lightly, as a matter of fact, in Omak right now, not here in the Wenatchee Valley. It is going to be breezy today. Wind out of the west, pretty consistent wind of about 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusts pushing 30 at times. Also windy tonight. Under clear skies, 36 for the overnight low. Then here we go. High pressure sets in, and it's going to be sticking around until about Tuesday of next week. 59 sunshine Friday, 63 sunshine on Saturday. For Easter Sunday, it'll be more sun than clouds, but you'll see a few clouds pop in on Easter Sunday, but 68 and partly sunny. I don't think anybody's complaining about that. 72 on Monday, and then back down to the mid-60s by the time we get to Tuesday. So today's the transition, and then it looks pretty good. Outside of the wind today, there's really not a lot of weather to talk about. We're going to take a break and come back with, turns out, is a lot of news, surprisingly a large amount of news. And we'll do it together in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
Most of our viewing area has some sunshine. You just saw the Nanapoc Ridge camera, so it's pretty cloudy in the upper valley anyway. We're 39 degrees. We'll transition to quite a bit of sunshine and quite a bit of wind today, and then a beautiful weekend coming up with temperatures in the lower 70s by Monday of next week. 7 minutes after the hour on Tuesday, the Eastmont School District lost its second portable classroom in the last 3 years because of a fire, and investigators say an air conditioning unit may have been the cause. The fire in the portable outside Sterling Junior High started about 1:30 Tuesday afternoon. The building was being used at the time as a YMCA daycare center for the kids of school district staff. There were about 15 kids in the building at the time. They were 3 or 4 years old. They were attending the early learning program. Nobody got hurt, but they were all given medical care as a precaution because of the smoke. Fire Marshal Kurt Blanchard says he speculates that the origin of the fire was the HVAC unit, but it's unknown what caused the fire in the unit to ignite. If in fact that was the case, they're still investigating. The portable deemed a total loss. A similar portable classroom at Kenroy Elementary also caught fire in April of 2023. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies say an attempt to stop a speeding minivan outside Malaga turned into a high-speed chase on Tuesday. The driver apparently crashed into a ditch with 2 passengers on board. The incident started on the Malaga-Alcoa Highway at about 4 o'clock on Tuesday when a deputy spotted a 2000 Dodge Caravan allegedly traveling more than 60 miles an hour. Police say the driver then sped away, getting to speeds above 75 miles an hour before crashing in the area of West Malaga Road and Benjamin Lane. Nobody in the van was hurt, but the driver, identified as 23-year-old Fernando Justus of Malaga, he allegedly took off, ran from the scene of the crash. Then they caught him. They arrested him. Deputies are now seeking charges of eluding police and resisting arrest. The 2026 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Royal Court and the Junior Royal Court, they joined the Chelan County PUD. They got to tour Rocky Reach Dam and the Discovery Center. They did it on Tuesday afternoon. The royalty got a chance to see examples of open and closed circuits, hydrostatic pressure, magnetic energy, turbines, fish ladders, Columbia River history. We took our cameras along on their hard hat tour to see firsthand with them how electricity is harvested from the mighty Columbia River.
So today we were giving the Apple Blossom Royalty a hard hat tour of our Rocky Reach Hydro Dam. We got to go all the way through a bunch of places that people don't normally get to go to. We got to count some fish. We got to learn about how fish get past our hydro dam. We got to go underneath our rotor, a 2.5 million pound spinning generator powering up our city. We got to climb up some stairs pretending we were fish. Got to go a lot of cool places, see a lot of cool things, and teach our royalty how we're generating power. So for our apple blossom royalty today, we talked about how we get fish past our hydro dam, both the adults up the salmon ladder and then the juveniles down our fish bypass system. We learned how big Rocky Reach is, and when it was built. Back in the 60s, they poured over 4 billion pounds of concrete here. We took them down to count fish inside of our gallery so they can see what our wildlife biologists do every day and how important it is that we have an accurate count of every salmon, steelhead trout, and lamprey that comes past our hydro dam. We went through the old museum and learned about how much electricity is being generated in our hydro dam and how it's being moved from the powerhouse up through that museum. So they got to play with some magnets and feel that electromagnetic field right there, hands-on. We went down into the powerhouse so they could see and feel how big those generators are. They feel that kinetic energy being changed into heat, electricity, and sound down there. They learned how big those machines are, all 11 of our 2.5 million pound units. And finally, we went out to the outside to check out our spillway, where we see how we manage our floods. And they climbed up the entire height of our hydro dam so they could really feel what it's like to be a salmon and then see what that head difference is, that 92 feet of difference in our water levels.
My favorite part was learning about the fish and being able to count them going through the fish tube and learning that they aren't smacking the water when they're coming out of the drain. They're actually just using it like a slide. And that's for the juvenile fish. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was specifically juvenile, and that the salmon spawning are going up the fish ladder, and I'm going into fish and ecology conservation for college, and so I got some insight, and it was cool to see where I might end up in my future career.
Other visits that I've had in the past, it's mostly just been like right here where we are, and kind of just going into like where we can look down into the turbine, the top of the turbines, but I've never been down into the shaft and seeing how like everything is so, like when we went with the magnets, seeing like the buzzing and how much everything is like, how it helps the fish, but not only just like helping us. And one of the most surprising thing is that someone has to like count the fish with a timer, not AI doing it. Cause I've been to many places and I've seen AI doing a lot of stuff, but now that I see that they still like have to do people counting the fish and not just a machine doing it.
The millionaire's tax is now law in our state, the 9.9% tax on all households that earn more than $1 million a year. The idea is to generate an average of about $3 billion per year for government services. But when the law was originally drafted, it was supposed to provide about 6% of that money to public defenders in our state, especially the counties. That provision got stripped out, and now the millionaire's tax will not help to fund that area. Jesse Collins is the chief public defender for Douglas County, and our own Jefferson Robbins spoke with him about the funding issues that surround this constitutionally required legal service.
How many indigent defense cases come through your doors, say, every year?
Okay, so a rough estimate is about 500 in the misdemeanor realm in district court, and that's just new as of last year for us. In felonies, superior court, we're talking about anywhere from 150 to 200 felonies a year. It's been slightly lower in these last few years since we took over, due to, I think, a lot shortages in the prosecution office. But they have been over 200 felonies at times in Douglas County.
How's that shake out for you and your fellow attorneys in terms of individual caseload? Is it as much as you're able to handle? Could you take more?
Yes, I think we could. We are in a good spot, especially when you compare it to the state in general. I mean, there's places in the state that are in an absolute crisis in terms of public defense. King County, Snohomish County, even like the Tri-Cities, some larger counties are struggling to give defendants attorneys because they have reached their maximum cases. We're not even close in Douglas County. We've been blessed to have a good amount of attorneys to handle the cases that we have. So, for example, in Superior Court right now, before they changed the standards, you could handle 150 felonies in a year, which isn't really tenable for any attorney. I've never given an attorney more than 100. So we're well within the current levels. You know, at the end of 10 years, we'd be over it, but we are able to handle our cases well here. We're in a good spot.
The standards that you're talking about, I think, are standards that sort of flow from a fairly recent Washington Supreme Court decision, which said that indigent defense, people who can't afford an attorney, deserve an attorney, must have an attorney under the Constitution, and Washington has to provide it. But it changed the way that caseloads are balanced, if I remember correctly. Can you explain a little?
Correct. Well, so it's not a brand new thing. The indigent defense standards went into effect, I don't remember the exact year, but it was towards the beginning of my career, I want to say 2013, 14, 15 range. And those are the numbers that I'm talking about. Before it was recently adjusted, they had set case limits for certain types of cases. The two big ones are felonies and misdemeanors. Felonies was 150 a year, as I said before, which is a lot. And misdemeanors was either 300 a year or 400 if you developed a case weighting system. Most places I've worked have not had the case weighting system, so you're looking at twice as many misdemeanors you could do as felonies. So 150 and 300. This last year, the state bar enacted new standards, and the Supreme Court eventually put those into effect as order, as law in the state, and they will, over the course of 10 years, significantly reduce those to about a third of what they currently are. In 10 years, the maximum felonies is 47, and the maximum amount of misdemeanors is 120. So
what that translates to for your office is you need more lawyers eventually.
that is very true, yes. Right now, and honestly, you can see my little scratch here of like the numbers I see it'll be over the course of the next 10 years. In Douglas County, I don't think we're really in danger of violating those limits under the 10-year plan, really for the next couple of years. I think with the staff that I have now, and next year I do expect to try and add one more support staff, but I don't think I'll need new attorneys under this new provision for a few more years. We're in a pretty good spot. We're a smaller county, smaller caseloads than the city.
You have a budget for 2026 of about $1.12 million from Douglas County. As we discussed earlier, that goes mostly to staffing. That's human resources cost for you largely. Can you explain a little bit about the funding mechanism, how much of that comes from the county and how much the state supports?
I mean, pretty much all from the county. That 1.2 million, whatever the budget you just said there, that's all county money. We get from the state, there is a state particular statute grant that for each individual county, all we have to do is fill out an application each year for these 10-101 funds, we call them, because that's the statute. And based on your county, caseloads, population, there's a set amount we get every year. For most of our first few years, that was $40,000 for Douglas County, a smaller county. We get $40,000 from the state. That has jumped to 80. It's pretty much doubled. I think starting this year and then moving forward, we'll be getting 80. But even if that 80 was to go, one of the rules is that that can't just supplant money that's already in your county budget. So I can't just make my 1.2 now 1.1 and add the state's $80,000. That's supposed to be public defense improvement and to add something extra. So pretty much all of the money is fronted by the county.
And that state contribution is extremely minimal in comparison with the overall budget.
Very much so, yes.
Are public defense agencies in Washington advocating for other funding streams? Are there efforts afoot to try and say, how can we fund this further in the future, given that our caseloads are going to have to go down?
I'm not involved in any of that. I have to imagine that they are. Most of what I've been seeing and following is that from the public defense side, they're pushing for the standards to be enacted. This is a problem. We need to find a way to solve this problem, and lower caseloads is the way the public defense side of things has been pushing for it. Certainly the other side, prosecutors unions and the counties, everybody, that's the first question is, well, how do we fund this? And I have yet to see an answer on that. And that's going to be the problem with this. It's certainly going, in our county in particular, which is all I can really speak to, by the time we get to the end of those standards, that's going to mean at least 2 more attorneys for me, at least. And that's if our numbers stay about the same. I feel like we are doing a great job now with the attorneys that we have. So for an attorney, you're talking with between salary and county benefits anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000. That can make that 1.2, 1.5 really fast without any extra revenue stream from the state.
The people have spoken, at least those who voted in the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center's Community Arts Award. The top 4 pieces voted on by the community that were submitted for the 47th Annual Regional High School Art Show. Played and zeroed out by Angel Martinez from Okanagan High School, took first place in the People's Choice Award. Hungry Bunny by Eileen Arroyo of Wenatchee High School earned second place. Ruby Koski won third for The Cougar, and Lies Untold But Not Unseen by Grace Burton got fourth place. Koski and Burton both also attend Wenatchee High School. The student exhibit remains on display at the museum's temporary location at 30 South Mission until April 11th. Slip on your hiking boots, fill up your water bottle. The Wenatchee Foothills Trail System opened Wednesday for the season. They closed it on December 1st, and they opened it on April 1st. Of course, they close it, the trail system, to protect mule deer habitat during the winter months, and they reopen annually on April 1st, which according to my calendar was yesterday. Those included in the reopening, Sage Hills Trails, Kenzie's Landing, Horse Lake, the Day Drive Trailhead, the Sage Hills Gateway. The closure is implemented by the Chelan Douglas Land Trust, the Chelan County PUD, and the City of Wenatchee. The Land Trust is advising visitors to avoid using muddy trails. Don't want to damage anything. Additionally, seasonal road closures mandated by Chelan County have also ended. So Horse Lake is open, Birch Mountain roads are open, Oklahoma Gulch Road near Antioch are now all open. And winter hibernation is finally over for one of Chelan County's most distinctive art exhibits. The Nature's Window Museum of Wildlife, Natural History and Art reopened for the season. Well, will anyway, today at 11 a.m. The museum on Highway 97A just west of Chelan has a huge collection of taxidermied wildlife, about 150 specimens of local wild animals as well as fauna from Africa, Asia, and New Zealand. It's a nonprofit. It's open Thursdays through Saturdays from 11 to 5, plus noon to 5 on Sundays. They won't be open this Sunday, of course, because it is Easter Sunday. That's good news there. It's a pretty cool place, too. And that is the news on this Thursday. The gang will be in the bullpen, writing news, disseminating news, figuring out what is news. That's what they do. And then out comes the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock right here on this very television station, 5, 6, and 10. On our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock. We also are streaming 24/7 on our homepage, ncwlife.com. We'll put a link in our Facebook page. We try to be as out there as possible. And believe me, I'm out there. If you have a news tip, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
Mow, dig, haul, trench. The reliable Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor is highly capable, A smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation and versatile attachments that help you handle the job. The Kubota BX Series is the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
Sports at 25 minutes after the hour. The Yankees took the lead in the top of the first inning on a base hit by Ben Rice, and they never trailed. And the Yankees take 2 of 3 from the Mariners. Yesterday afternoon's final was 5-3 at T-Mobile Park. Seattle managed just 2 hits against Yankee starter Cam Schlittler.
The 2-1. Grounded, fair, inside first and down the right field line. Bellinger will score. The ball goes into the corner. Rice hustling to second. He makes the turn. He'll stop right there. It's an RBI double, and the Yankees are up 1-0.
Well, this is how you make a good starting pitcher pay. 2-out walk, stolen second base, and then Ben Rice keeps on keeping on. Nails the slider right down the line.
Obviously too much of the plate on a 3-2 count, and now Chisholm is in a pickle. Naylor to Rivas, and Rivas with the tag. That base hit erased right away.
Man, that's huge. We talked about challenging in a turning point in some of these innings as the game goes on. What about this? You give up a leadoff hit. You're starting to get some more looks at George Kirby. Messing with that wrist guard, that little sliding pad. Not paying attention. Picked off at first.
High fly ball. Deep left center, going back to Rosarena, turning, looking, see ya! A 3-run home run for Goldschmidt, and the Yankees lead 4-0.
That look tells you everything you need to know. George Kirby pitches around Ben Rice, gets the matchup he wants. Better be careful for what you want sometimes.
Where do you fit all these pieces together as Judge goes to second, tag applied, and Cal Raleigh cuts down Aaron Judge. Let's see what the Yankees want to do. Mariners are walking off the field. Aaron Boone is waiting to hear from his video room. There is no challenge. Judge caught stealing. On to Cal. Line drive, right field, base hit. Canzone is in. Right on his heels, Cole Young. Cal Raleigh puts the Mariners on the board, and we got a ball game at the bottom of the 8th inning.
We had the walk-off hit on the first night to win that game. Late, this was a split that just kind of hung out, and Cal just staying through this pitch. One hand, broken bat, into right field. Good piece of hitting, and sometimes it's just the little things to wake you up.
Driven deep to right field, going back rally, track, wall, see ya! Ben Rice red hot with a solo home run. Yankees lead 5-2.
The look of a hitter who is locked in early in the season. Ben Rice crushes it. By the time it lands, it's 427 feet away.
He gets a base hit into right field. Rosarena is on his way home. Dom Canzone keeps this game alive for the Mariners and brings the tying run to the plate in the bottom of the 9th.
High fly ball, right field. Judge back. He's there. And the Yankees hold on and win 5-3. They hit the road at the start of the season, and they'll be coming home with a 5-1 record.
Great road trip, well pitched all the way around. Cam Schlittler was utterly dominant today as he keeps on keeping on. And the Yankees hold on at the end.
So they dropped 2 of 3 to the Yankees. They finished 3-4 on their opening weekend homestand. Now they're on the road. They will be in Anaheim to take on the Los Angeles Angels. That'll be tomorrow. First pitch at 6:38. Everybody in the division lost except the Astros. Yesterday, Astros are now in first place. There's the Mariners losing to the Yankees. Astros took care of the Red Sox. No issues there. Braves over the Athletics. It was the Orioles crushing the Rangers. The Cubs snuck by the Angels 6-2. Seattle Kraken are down to their last 9 games if they hope to make the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tonight's matchup with the Utah Mammoth at Climate Pledge Arena. Well, they pretty much got to win it. Utah and the Kings currently have the last 2 wild card spots. San Jose, Nashville, and Winnipeg are also ahead of the Kraken, so they got to get busy. The puck will drop at 7, and it will be streamed on Hulu, which means I can watch it, as a couple of my friends can as well, who stole my password. To the prep soccer schedule today, if you head on out to the pitch, pretty light in the world of prep sports, all things considered. Pateros will host Soap Lake at 4 o'clock, 4:30 start for Okanagan hosting Oroville. Bridgeport will hop on the bus, not a long trip to Liberty Bell. At 4:30, 5 o'clock, Manson will host Tenascan on the pitch. Omak will host Brewster. In baseball yesterday, Ellensburg got by Quincy. The final there was 3-1. Liberty Bell rolled over Lake Roosevelt 12-1, and there's just one game on the calendar today. Quincy will play a Cascade, a non-leaguer, at 4:30. Prep softball, pretty quiet. Lake Roosevelt rolled over Liberty Bell 17-2, and Chelan will play at Kashmir, their little Caribou Trail League rivals. That'll be first pitch at 4:30. And those are just some of the games that people are playing among the holidays that you may commemorate today if you are so inclined. It's National Reconciliation Day, National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day, World Autism Awareness Day, National Burrito Day. But today we're going to talk about a weasel that people either love or hate. Nobody seems to be ambivalent about ferrets. It's National Ferret Day. Again, some people think they're cute and some people think they're annoying. Really depends on what side that you come on. Ferrets are weasels. They're a member of the weasel family, although the people who don't like them think they're rodents. Ferrets were domesticated about 2,500 years ago. The idea to hunt rabbits and rodents that would eat the crops. Ferrets wouldn't eat the crops. They would eat the things that ate the crops. From the mid-19th century into the 1940s, ferrets were used in the American West to protect grain stores from rodents. A ferret's heart beats pretty fast, 200 to 250 beats per minute. An average ferret will live about 8 years. Keep that in mind if you want one as a pet. Ferrets are most active at sunrise and sunset. Ferrets, domesticated ferrets, if you have a pet, you can train your ferret to use a litter box. And by the way, ferrets can catch the flu from humans, but they can't catch the common cold from humans. These are kind of the things I find on the internet, which I think is going to be a big thing. Today's topic in Today in History, war. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I heard that song somewhere. When you capture the capital, you're usually going to win the war, and that's pretty much what happened. Richmond Falls, April 2nd, 1865. They did their very best, but Grant just kept coming and coming and coming. And at the Third Battle of Petersburg, the Army of Northern Virginia realizes we're not going to hold on to this. The Confederate government had to abandon Richmond, and they abandoned Richmond. Lincoln would visit a couple of days later, but the beginning of the end, really, the very tail end of the Civil War, when Richmond fell on this date in 1865. Well, it looks like we're going to war. We tried to stay out of World War I for a couple of years, but unrestricted warfare by Germany put an end to that. They said, we don't care if you're a warship or a passenger ship, we're going to shoot it. And Woodrow Wilson said, fine, then, well, I guess we're in. On this date, Woodrow Wilson asks the United States Congress for a formal declaration of war against Germany. And in case you missed it, they said yes. That was on this date in 1917. And without question, the dumbest war of my generation broke out on this date in 1982. The Falkland Islands, a windswept group of small islands in the southern Atlantic Ocean, always claimed by Argentina, actually belonged to the British and had for about 150 years. Argentina invades the Falkland Islands, which consists of sheep, sheep poop, and people who take care of sheep. That's it. As the famous, one of the great Argentinian writers of all time said, the Falkland Islands, basically the Falkland War, was the equivalent of 2 bald men fighting over who gets to own 1 comb. It's true. It's just stupid, just dumb. Anyway, Falkland Island War. I remember that. And a war of a different kind. The baseball strike came to an end on April 2nd, 1995. The first 23 days of the 1995 season, first 23 days gone, and of course 252 games of the season before that. The owners accept the player's unconditional offer to return to work. District Court Judge Sonia Sotomayor, who is now on the Supreme Court, basically ruled the owners were not negotiating in good faith. The players said they won't go back to work on the agreement that expired, and the owners' hand were forced, and the strike came to an end. Thank goodness we had baseball back in 1995. It's a lot of heavenly birthdays. Come listen to the story of a man named Jed, the poor mountaineer, barely kept his family. You know this. You know, Buddy Ebsen, the great Buddy Ebsen. Jed Clampett, the patriarch on the Beverly Hillbillies. Some of the Beverly Hillbillies shows are still pretty good. Some are just totally unwatchable. Buddy Ebsen, also, of course, Barnaby Jones. And he was the original, I think everybody knows this by now, he was the original Tin Man. In the film The Wizard of Oz, he was replaced by Jack Haley because it turns out Buddy Ebsen was allergic to the makeup that the Tin Man had to wear. Damn near died. Buddy Ebsen also was considered a great dancer, born in the state in 1908. Alec Guinness won the Academy Award for Best Actor on Bridge on the River Kwai. He was in Lawrence of Arabia, Dr. Zhivago, and he played a certain, who was that guy in that certain mid-70s sci-fi movie with Luke and the saber and Darth. I can't remember the name of the movie. He was in that one too. Sir Alec Guinness, born in the state in 1914. Jack Webb, love Jack Webb. I love the color dragnets from the late 1960s. I find them terribly entertaining. I don't know why, I just do. The legendary Jack Webb, writer, producer, creator of Dragnet and other things as well, born in the state in 1920. We talked about Marvin Gaye yesterday because he was assassinated on April 1st, 1984 by his own father. His birthday was April 2nd, 1939. Marvin Gaye. The album, What's Going On, should be in everybody's record collection. I have 3 copies. In case one breaks or I wear it out, I got 2 more. The legendary Marvin Gaye, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, second class of 1987. And yesterday we did the great Finnish javelin thrower. So today we're going to do Keeshorn Walcott. He's from Trinidad and Tobago. Keeshorn Walcott is 33 years old today. He won the gold medal, by the way, in the Olympics in 2012. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Thanks, Alpine Air. Platinum, that's a pretty valuable metal, so I'm told. Part 2 of my conversation with Jeremy Anders as the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval is firing up for another season of racing up on Fancher Heights. We'll have that conversation with Jeremy. You don't want to miss that. Mike Benight has got an opinion coming up, but first things first, Brave the puppy is in dog jail. Let's bail Brave out. It's Pause for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, shelter manager here. And today we have something special for you. We have a puppy. This is Breve. Yeah, and she's our 4-month-old female puppy. We think that she is maybe a mix of Shepherd and Husky, but that's kind of our best guess. We're not really sure. She came in to us as a transfer from one of our shelter partners here in Washington State. Yeah, and unfortunately, we've had her for 2 months now, so half of her life. She's 4 months now, and she's already growing so much since we first got her. Yeah. She came here with 2 siblings, and they both got adopted right away, and she is just still waiting there for her forever home. Breve enjoys all the puppy things, playing with toys, playing with balls, stuffed animals, wrestling with her people. Yeah, she loves walks. She's really treat motivated, and she's already learning sit. Yeah, she's really good at that. Yeah. She really likes our other puppies here, and we think she'd be really fun for a family. She's a really sweet girl. We think Breve would be great in a family and with other dogs. She's young enough where she is able to learn to get along with just about any other pet. It's a really great age to bring a new family member in. Yeah. So Breve's a little too young for our doggy date program, and hopefully she doesn't get too old where she's still here to go on our doggy date program. But if you are looking to take a dog out, we would love you to come down and take one of our mini dogs out for coffee or to Pybus or for a hike or whatever. Yeah. Like all of our dogs and cats here for adoption, Breve is fixed. She was spayed and she has all of her vaccines and she's been dewormed and she has a clean bill of health. She's a very healthy puppy. Yeah, you are. So if you'd like to come and meet our Breve, we are open 7 days a week now from 12:30 to 6, and we'd love nothing more but to introduce you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you'd never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I post on Facebook quite a bit. It drives my poor wife crazy. And I'm often posting about issues that I have with what certain churches do and about my concerns about what is being presented concerning what some call Christianity these days. And then I'll get accused of picking on a specific church, even though I never mentioned a specific church by name. Well, this is what my response is in the question I want to ask. If I say something general and unspecifically critical about what some are calling Christianity these days, and you immediately connect that criticism to a specific religious group and jump to the conclusion that that's the group I'm talking about, doesn't that say more about that particular organization than does my criticism? Think about that. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the Diagnostic Doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
Part 2 of my interview with Jeremy Anders, who runs this place along with Garrett and Michelle. You three have been teammates here at the WVSO for forever.
8 years now.
That's forever.
Yeah. 8 years since I came back, yeah.
Yeah, in this line of work, that's a long, long time, my friend.
We all balance. We're all 3 different unique personalities, I guess you'd say.
Saturday, May 2nd is probably going to be the busiest day of the year in the Wenatchee Valley. It's the Milk Growers Grand Parade, the food court, the entertainment, the beer garden. Then everybody's going to come up here on May 2nd and watch people drive fast and turn left.
Yeah, we the first couple of years I was back at the track, I kind of avoided Saturday of Apple Blossom, and then as we were going on, like, you know, we'd be out doing things and I'd get calls, is there racing tonight? Is there racing tonight? And if you go back to it, the very first race ever happened here was 56 years ago. Ed Gantz had opening weekend on Apple Blossom Weekend 1970. It was May 2nd, actually, 1970. So we'll be racing at 56 years to the day. And so we decided to bring it back. And the last couple of years has been a really good event for us. We had a couple of years ago where we had weather issues, but we have drifting. Yeah. We don't say the R word here, Dan. You should know. Sorry. That's the bad word at the racetrack. It's one of the worst words you say at a racetrack. You don't say that. No, but
right now I got Jeremy mad at me. That's the last thing I need. I need to stay on your good side.
I know.
So it's
we're trading one R for another R. It's the rubber down. So we're bringing the rubber with the drifting that weekend. So we have drifting going on there. We have our B mods racing that weekend. We have the Northwest Vintage Modified, so it'll be a fun weekend for sure. Definitely the drifting is a different style car, and kind of a lot of fun, unique, right? You know, I call it figure skating on asphalt. That's a great way to describe it, and it's kind of works out well.
That'll be on Saturday, May 2nd. What day is the royalty going to be here? Is it going to be the race before, or
we're still finalizing that?
Okay, we're still working on that, but I mean, you got to have them come. GISA Credit Union. We teased this yesterday with our conversation. We got the press release late last week. This is a fantastic partnership. Talk about this.
Yeah, so GISA Credit Union's come on. We're having them as our new banking partner for the next couple of years, and they're stepping up in a big way. So we have quite a few things we're doing. You definitely, if you're not a GISA member, you want to be soon, especially if you come to the Super Oval. We have 2 nights this year. We're going to have GISA Family Nights, where the first 30 families that show up that night and show their GISA credit or debit card will get into the races for free that night with a family pass. And we're doing that twice this year. And then the first one's May 16th. And then we also have the GISA's First Responder Night, where it's all first responders will get in for free that night. And it's a big race night. It's August 29th. It's the Nil Newberry 125, which is a huge race. And we're giving first responders free admission for that night as well. And then every night we're going to have the GISA Lucky Fan of the Night, where Greg, our announcer, is going to pick a section of the grandstands to go down to, and the first person to show their GISA debit or credit card is going to get a GISA prize pack for free tickets for a feature race and some extra things in there as well. So a lot of great things there. Plus, they're helping be our secondary sponsor for the Wenatchee 200, the Plum Perfect Wenatchee 200 presented by GISA, and that's going to be a huge event. That event's been on fire the last 2 months.
Well, there's a certain driver coming that may have piqued interest on this. This is a great find for you guys. This is incredible.
So as we talked about before, Kevin Harvick is kind of behind the Cars Tour West, and he picked out some races, and this will be their first race in the Northwest this year for Kevin. He's going to race a couple other times later. He raced one time last year, Evergreen, but his first ever time to Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Just this last weekend, he just got put out that he is on the ballot for the 2027 NASCAR Hall of Fame, which is huge, right? He's one of the greatest NASCAR drivers of all time, former NASCAR Cup Series champion, 2-time Daytona 500 winner. He has 60 career Cup Series wins. On top of that, you add all this stuff in the Riley Series now, sorry, Xfinity Series, all that stuff there. He's a very accomplished driver. I'd say one of the top 50, 40, 30 various drivers of all time, right? I mean, he's up there, and to have him come here and race at Wenatchee is going to be pretty cool to see. We're kicking off the whole entire weekend. We're doing the Victory Lane dinner with Kevin Harvick on Thursday night at Highlander Golf Course up in...
Does that mean you can meet him?
You can meet him. Yeah, it's a very intimate night. We're very limited seats. There's still a few of those left. You can get them at WVSO.com, but it's a dinner, an hour of storytelling. He has some amazing stories to share. I've been able to hear some of them. We had him come speak at WRPA this year down in Portland, and he's got some really cool stuff and stuff you don't hear, like stuff you're not going to hear out in the media, stuff like that, stuff behind the scenes. And then you get to meet him and get some prize swags, stuff like that. And that happens on Thursday of the weekend. Then Friday we have practice up here, which people can come watch practice. It's free that day. On Friday night we'll do a kickoff party down at the side chick where drivers will come do their qualifying draw, and then Saturday's race day. We did a VIP experience with Kevin Harvick at the racetrack that night. It sold out in less than 12 hours. So that area was already sold out. And then the race itself, we're about 70% sold out, I'd say, for the race.
Already?
But yeah, and there's still tickets left though, but you want to get your tickets, WVSO.com. So it's going to be a really cool night. I mean, it's been one of our biggest events the last couple of years, and now we're even going bigger. And now we're talking that we're going to probably see our biggest field we've ever seen for this race. This race is now in its 4th race. It's become one of the biggest races on the West Coast and one of the top races in the country. It's going to be broadcast nationally on Flow Racing. We're expecting drivers, 30-plus drivers. It's a huge purse, $25,000 to the winner. You get to take home the special Matt Brugg Memorial Trophy, which we did to honor him. And then on top of that, it's $2,000 to start the race. I could expect us to see 30-plus cars that weekend, just in the Super Late Models. Plus, we have the Legends racing that weekend, which is going to be a huge car count, and the Dixie Thunder cars. So it's going to be really big.
And Kevin Harvick is going to go back to his racing buddies, and he's all going to say, you got to go up to that Wenatchee, Washington place. You may have never heard of it, but they got a kick-butt track and kick-butt people.
He can say it pretty well, actually. He's dealt it a few times, calling me out on some things. But great guy, and the hope is maybe we get Garrett back behind the wheel. And those two have not raced against each other in about 30 years, but they did race against each other back in the day. So it'll be really cool to see that.
Are you a little nervous having this kind of this is maybe the biggest single driver that's ever come up here in 56 years? I think the red carpet treatment and everything.
Well, no, I think it's going to be a great weekend for all of our drivers. I think it's going to bring a lot of notoriety for our racers who are racing that weekend as well, and the track itself. I think it's brought some extra positive energy to us for the year. We've seen an increase in season ticket sales and some sponsorship side as well, and we've talked to new partners we haven't been able to talk to before. So I think it's a good thing overall. I think the last couple of years we've been preparing for this. When we started the Wenatchee 200 a couple of years ago, it was a big gamble. I mean, it's a lot of money we put on the line. You never know. And the first year, I will say I was nervous. I was like, okay, we got to get to this number for ticket-wise to make sure that we don't lose like a massive amount of money and do stuff there. But it's now carried on. I mean, like last year, our monster truck event was huge, but it's making us inspire. Like, hey, where can we change to make things better? So, like building a new concession area, having more outside vendors in for concessions on those big weekends, doing some more upgrades to the facility throughout the time. We're kind of limited to what we can and can't do up here for upgrades, but these things are helping us lead the way to do those extra things.
We're going to come up and visit with Jeremy again before Memorial Day weekend. The big race we're talking about that's almost sold out is on May 30th, which is not Memorial Day weekend. It's the weekend after, right?
Weekend after, yeah.
So you can still go out and do your Memorial Day weekend plans and then come back here on the 30th. Before we cut you loose, I know you got a lot of work to do. Season tickets, still the best deal in town.
Yeah, the best deals get them at Christmas time, but they're still really good right now. You still save about $140 on the year. You get them online at WVSO.com. There's still about 25 of those left.
And what does a season ticket get
It's
you?
$249. Gets you every single race for the year except for the Wenatchee 200, but it gets you a discounted rate. You get $10 off your ticket for Wenatchee 200 for that weekend, but gets you in the race. You've got your ticket. You don't have to worry about the lines or any of that stuff there. So it's a really good deal.
That's an important thing. A lot of these races, go to WVSO's website. If you think, oh, I'll just show up and buy a ticket, you may not be able to. They can actually sell this track out.
Yeah.
There can come a part where you just can't sell any more tickets.
Yeah, I mean, for most part, most races, we do have tickets up here and available for most of our races. Our monster truck event last year was crazy. Friday night was huge, and Saturday night was amazing, like crazy. I was like, first time I looked around, I'm like, where are people going? There's no more space in here. It's like, it's completely packed in here. And so we have monster trucks back again. That's the other one's on sale. It's actually selling pretty good, July 10th and 11th.
This might be the first interview I've ever done with Jeremy where before the interview started, he did not set himself on fire. what you did last year. You remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, you were burning weeds off. With
Yeah, I was burning weeds off, yeah.
Yeah, and you set yourself on
and
fire.
when we started this interview, the speakers weren't up. By the time we're done, my crew got the whole of the speakers up already. See?
Best crew in town.
Best crew in town.
Best crew in town. I'll see you again mid to late June.
Sounds good.
WVSO.com. It's got the lineup the entire year long. You can buy tickets for individual races or get season tickets. Again, the big one on May 30th. If you dink around, you ain't getting in. So get the job done. Happy racing, my friend. Track looks good.
Thank you.
Not as good as you. You're a very handsome man, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. I dressed up for the occasion. Work clothes.
Good luck, Jeremy. And we will be right back.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
As you can see behind me, we're not quite done with the clouds yet, but we will by mid-afternoon. Complete forecast details are coming up, but it's another Holy Week reminder. We've been doing this all week long because the Wenatchee Downtown Kiwanis Club has put together and sponsored a really cool program. All of these special services are at 12 noon. They're going to be held and have been held at the First United Methodist Church on Washington Street, right across the street from Washington Elementary School. Today's sermon, if you will, message is Way, Truth, and Life. Pastor April Manning from the Wenatchee Church of the Nazarene will be delivering that message totally free of charge. Check it out again at 12 noon today, and then they'll be doing one more at 12 noon tomorrow at the First United Methodist Church on Washington Street in Wenatchee, leading up to Easter Sunday. And by the way, the weekend looks pretty good. But first things first, we got a little time. Let's do our cameras again. A lot of people say it's their favorite part of the show. When this show started an hour ago, there wasn't that many clouds out there. There's still some hanging around. I understand it is raining lightly still in the upper part of our viewing area. Up in the Omak, Okanagan, and Tenasket area, you're getting some light rain. That's a cool view from our Hay Canyon camera overlooking beautiful Kashmir, Washington. Oh, you can see almost all of Kashmir from that view there. Right now in the Wenatchee Valley, by the way, it is 41 degrees. The cool spot is Manson at 34 degrees. Let's see what we have for camera number 3. Ooh, oh my, Malcolm. I want to say maybe Hose Landing. I want to say that's what it is. Is that Hose Landing? Yes, it's Hose Landing. Hey, I got one right. I'm a guesser. Hose Landing, basically, it's right across the Columbia River from Aniat. It's on the Douglas County side of the river. I went up there one time with the Sky-Fi crew. That is a very hairy little drive to get up to that tower site. I'm glad I don't have to do that. That's the Wenatchee Valley way off into the distance from Hose Landing. And our fourth camera back up to Billy Goat. You can see the low clouds hanging around. It's obvious by looking at that shot that it is raining lightly in the upper part of our viewing area. From the National Weather Service, we're still under the influence of that low pressure, which is why we still have some of the clouds and some rain in some locations. Eventually, it will begin to exit north central Washington by this afternoon. It'll be quite a bit of sunshine for everybody and a high near 54. As this low pressure exits, though, it's going to make the wind a little on the strong side. It'll be breezy today with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Breezy tonight, as a matter of fact. 36 for the overnight low, and then temperatures will start skyrocketing big time as we're going to be under the influence of high pressure. Easter Sunday looks beautiful, as does the early part of next week. All right, provided this show isn't canceled, I'll see you on Friday. Until then, bye-bye.